You're watching the Isaiah Factor Uncensored.
All righty, welcome back and thank you for joining us for the second half hour. The Factor Uncensored rapper and all-around entertainer, Ice Cube has been a household name for decades. He has his hand in multiple mediums for the past 40 years. In music, of course, as one of the founders of the iconic group NWA, and in film, both in front and behind the camera. Now Ice Cube is returning to his roots, the stage, in his first headlining tour in more than a decade. I talk with him ahead of his upcoming Houston show happening this Friday at the Toyota Center. And joining us now here on the Factor Uncensored, the man, the legend himself, entertainer Ice Cube, and he's embarking on his coast-to-coast tour here in the United States, and he will be here in the city of Houston October 17th, which happens to be my birthday, and we're looking forward to seeing your performance. Welcome to the Factor Uncensored, or I may say welcome back, Mr. Cube.
Thanks for having me, man, and happy early birthday. I'll see you on Friday for sure.
Absolutely. Now, when we talk about this coast-to-coast tour, what can your fans expect when they get to the venue here in Houston?
A celebration. You know, it's a 40-year career, and you know the way the show lays out. You know, I take you from decade to decade, from the '80s to the '90s, to the 2000s, and it's just a journey through my career. Highlights, milestones, but also, you know, some of the difficult times that I had to go through to be able to do the kind of music that I do, my influences, and some great music in between, and one hell of a production. You know, it's a great production.
When you think about 4 decades of performing, not only on in movies but also in music, what do you consider your highlight? What are you most proud of as Ice Cube?
Wow. I mean, nothing's better than my family, you know,
Mhm.
but as far as a career, think there's a few. Um, you know, going solo, you know, making that decision to leave NWA and believe in myself was you know, a highlight in my career. Also, you know, deciding to write movies and produce movies, you know, not just be an actor. I was
Mhm.
discovered by John Singleton, but you know, I decided to take it to the next level and really you know, become active in producing movies. So you know, another milestone in my career. Um, and you know, starting the big three is another one.
Mhm.
Getting into sports and you know, doing it at a high level. You know, these are to me, you know, big factors in the reason why I was able to be here 40 years.
And when you think about that journey as well, you said you also had some tough times, some tough decisions, some tribulations, trials and tribulations. What do you consider? What stands out when it comes to that dealing with the tough times for Ice Cube? Because as a public, we only see high times.
Yeah. Um, you know, dealing with um, you know, coming out with NWA, dealing with the um, what they call backlash from 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 the music industry, the political players of the day, and you know, and really trying to stop us from um, doing the kind of records we believe we needed to do. Um, those were, you know, not easy times. You know, we had to deal with Tipper Gore and the PMRC, which is um, a, a group that really came after the music. Um, and it, you know, was basically a fight against censorship. And, from there, getting into the movie industry, being, a rapper, getting looked at as a rapper and not a true filmmaker, having to really overcome those obstacles, personally, to be able to do the kind of movies that I do.
And of course, Ice Cube will be back after the break. Don't go anywhere. And welcome back to The Factor Uncensored. Fans of Ice Cube have been waiting for more than 10 years for this moment. That's a decade. The hip-hop legend is returning to the stage for a new tour to celebrate his 40-year career. He shared some predictions on which artists he believes can see the same longevity he has had. And of course, he will be at the Toyota Center this Friday. Let's get back to the interview. And when you take a look at the industries that you have a role in, movies, athletics, also music, which would you say is your favorite, where you get your joy still today?
Music. Music is true freedom, at least the way I do music. I've always been an independent artist. I've never had a A&R or anybody to tell me what kind of records to make. So music is my true freedom. Getting on stage is still the best part of this whole entertainment thing. Um, Getting in front of an audience and getting that immediate feedback is extremely gratifying and satisfying, and it, I still get a rush from it. And so that's why I've continued to tour, all these years. Still love it. And recording music, I get to go in and do the kind of music that I want to do. And get the feelings off my chest that I want to talk about, or just, have fun with it. So, the music is really still a big joy in my career.
But when you look at that audience and you have 40 years under your belt, when you look at the audience and you see generational audiences, you may see mom or grandma and the kids there too, all there for Ice Cube. What does that do for you to see a generational audience there for you?
Oh man, it lets me know that I've made an impact, um, and not only with one person, but in households. Um, I remember my family teaching me about Motown, and and I became huge fans of Smokey Robinson and Stevie Wonder and the Temptations, and groups who really had their heyday kind of before my time, but still ended up loving them, like I grew up with them. And so to see people doing that with my music and with my career, kind of teaching their kids what Ice Cube is all about. Some people think, they only see me in Are We There Yet? With now they're old enough to really get into the music. Some of them might have seen Straight Outta Compton, and they're, super curious about what I'm all about. And to come to my show, it's great to see that it's a family affair.
And any artists out there that you've been impressed with as far as rappers, singers, that you say, okay, that person has something and they have longevity. They'll see 40 years as well.
Wow, it's few people out there that I believe is gonna see 40 years. I still love what Chris Brown is doing. I still think he's an amazing artist. You look at an artist like Kanye. I mean, yeah, Kanye, but also you look at an artist like Kendrick. He's doing amazing things. I think he'll be around for 40 years. It's really about just knowing your audience, and having a real powerful message. You can't just do superficial records and expect to be here 40 years.
And once again, we want to thank you for your time and appreciate you coming on The Factor Uncensored. You will be performing once again this Friday in the city of Houston, October 17th. And where can people go to get tickets or at least get in line early for Ice Cube?
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure there's tickets at the Toyota Center, Ticketmaster. You can go to icecube.com.
All right, Ice Cube, we will see you here in Houston, and we always enjoy having you here. You were recently here for the Big Three, and you'll be back here for what some of your other fans want to see you performing live here at the Toyota Center, October 17th. Thank you for joining us on The Factor Uncensored, and always good to see you, sir.
Anytime, man. Thank you. Take it easy.
All right, I hope some tickets magically appear. VIP on stage with Ice Cube for my birthday, October 17th. You think so, Phil? What do you think? You think you'll give me some? If not him, I'm going to call Willie D. Willie D has a connect with Ice Cube. All right. They're good friends. Every time Ice Cube comes to town, he's hanging out with Willie D. And Willie D will drag me along. Little peasant seats, though. He's like, okay, Isaiah, stand behind us.
Third wheel.
Exactly, third wheel.